This is Lizzie from Let Zoe Spoil You.
And Sagira from Sagira Salutes You. And together, we are Newbie versus Weeaboo. Sagira, Newbie.
Lizzie, a Weeaboo.
It's Newbie versus Weeaboo.
This podcast is brought to you by a veteran anime fan, myself, Lizzie, who wanted to share their love with a friend. That would be Sagira, who is our newbie. Each week, I make Newbie watch an anime film, and we discuss it from the points of view of someone who has watched anime for 25 years, did a master's in Japanese culture, and spent time in Japan, versus someone who has watched the Death Note in dub.
So, Sagira, what do you think of the movie today?
Okay, it's quite a short synopsis today. It's more of like a tagline. From pop to porn, a cautionary tale of a slow descent into madness.
That pretty much perfectly sums up Perfect Blue.
Yeah, it was an interesting one today, following Halloween. I do prefer thrillers to horrors, I have to say. I like things that make you think, and this made you think.
God.
Oh my goodness, my brain. Like, we've literally just watched it, and my brain is still going,
Perfect Blue, when it first came out, it was a bit of a game changer, because most of us had been watching anime, like what I've been previously showing you, and anime was, and even the horror stuff is fun. This was the first time anime showed us it could do psychological thriller. It could do it really well as any other like film. It was one of the few animes I showed my dad going, look, we love films like Silence of the Lambs. I can promise you that this anime is not like the stuff I'm normally watching. This is no Bubblegum Crisis. This is a psychological thriller, and it does it so well.
And you said 1997?
1997. This film is 20 years old, and you wouldn't think it.
No, you wouldn't. I'm a bit messed up. First thing I noticed was the art style, as you do. Very Erosion Z type of thing, more on the realistic side rather than the anime cartoon big-eyed side. What I really liked was the realism of it, was like the reflections on the water and stuff, like when she's in the bath and it's like a moving reflection. I thought that was really good. Like, you can tell that this is one of the ones they put effort into, consistency.
I know he did some more after it, but this will always be my favourite Satoshi Kon film. And Satoshi Kon goes down in history books as one of the greatest anime auteurs. He was a massive big deal, and he had one of the brightest, he was one of those massive rising stars, but unfortunately because he got cancer, he died at the age of 47. So A, he never completed his last film, and B, he only made 4 films and 1 animated series, because his stuff is just so good, and he does work in a realistic medium, and all his films deal with kind of personal, psychological issues.
You can see that.
This one is his darkest.
Really, is it? You started off slowly then.
Well, it was the first one that got released. It's not his weirdest, but it's his darkest.
I mean, from the start, it gets you thinking, because it's very jumpy. It jumps from this scene to that scene. She's a singer. She's an actress. Now she's shopping. It's like, what is going on? The film is literally 5 minutes in, and already I'm like, what is going on? Once I got into the film, it wasn't such a problem, but we watched this subbed.
Yes, this is your first time watching a subtitled film.
And as much as the voice acting, that didn't affect me. Once I got into reading it, I was okay. But at the start, I didn't write so many notes because I was so busy trying to read what was going on that I couldn't concentrate on both things at the same time, because I wanted to know what it was from the outset. But once I got into the film, I found it easier to read and write at the same time, because I kind of knew the characters, I knew what was going on. Well, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew where the story was, So, the sub isn't too awful, I'll admit that. I think I can watch more subs in the future. I mean, however, dub is easier for making notes.
Dub is easier for reviewing.
Yes.
But the reason that I thought this one might be a good sub, because it so much relies on the visual storytelling. It never once tells you what's going on or explains. There's not a lot of exposition in this film. You have to get it from the visual narrative, because by the time the twists and everything are being revealed, it's all done visually. Yeah. And once you've learned the Japanese word for no, you kind of got what's going on.
I really liked the beginning songs that they sung as the cham Chan band. Yeah, I like the first one, but I really like the second one that she sung, the slower, more ballady one. I don't know why, but that gave me 80s nostalgia, 80s, 90s nostalgia. I was really like, I like this. And I could actually buy that on a single.
You could at the time.
There you go.
There we go. We all
Probably
had the
still
Perfect Blue
can.
album.
Probably still can
I
someday.
bet my copy of it would be worth something, but God knows where my copy of the Perfect Blue album is.
You're going to have to go through your stuff. Something that obviously from because the guy's in the very beginning, but he had very far apart eyes. And then I started to notice more people have far apart eyes. And then what I noticed was the crazy people had the far apart eyes.
Yeah.
Was that an actual thing or was it just coincidence?
Just coincidence.
Because I was like, okay, so the first guy, he's obviously got something going on because he looks completely different to everyone else.
Yeah.
And then her agent also had the far apart eyes. I was like, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a way that they're drawing some of the people, just make it stand out a bit more. But then they ended up both being crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all of the, like, the horror and the psychological stuff is in that element of you can't trust what you're seeing, the layers of reality. Because it's like when you look at the faces in the crowd, some of them slightly designed like obviously the Me Mania son look a bit like him. So you're kind of going, oh, I think there's that. No, it's just a cameraman that looks vaguely they've drawn it. So it's all kind of choices to make you think,
right.
And then also question like, well, he's obviously evil. Oh, this guy's evil. No, it's just making me think he's evil. Then
right,
and he's a bad person. Oh, yes, actually, he is a bad person.
But it was when you watch this film, it is an obvious thing because so many people are drawn a certain way, and then those people stand out more.
Yeah.
So obviously, it is something to bring up. But I really don't want to
it's
come
not
across
so much as bringing up
way.
whether or not they're evil or stuff. It's a choice that happens a lot with anime and stuff, and something that harpers back to Armitage. It's innocence versus adulthood.
Right.
You'll notice that a lot of the people that look a little bit more like you couldn't trust them are the adults, and the younger people
The bigger innocent eyes.
Yeah, because
Right.
they're not totally like broken by the system.
Got it.
One of the things I adore about this movie, and is something which is a staple of Satoshi Kon films, is the way he scores his films.
Yeah.
He uses, for danger, a very industrial scoring system that's really jaunts you. So you're getting really, because it makes you just feel really, it's not like a moving piece of music, it's not an atmospheric piece of music, it's this jaunting, juxtaposing sounds that are just literally going trigger, 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 and you're like,
I will admit there are times that I was watching it and I suddenly I just realised I should relax my legs because my legs have gotten so tense.
Yeah.
Not realising that that's what the film is doing. That I can understand.
So it's that. And then when things are kind of like, my favourite word, whimsical or not quite real, it has this kind of like this music that should be a nice piece of music, but it's got a couple of like beats and like riffs in it that just kind of go, something's not quite right. This is not the nice pop songs. This is like, something's going weird. And then it always ends up with that noises. You're like, no, there's something definitely. I'm unsettled. And he manages to make everything feel so much more unsettling. And his representation of threat and madness through the music is so very strong.
Something else that I've noticed is thumb biting.
Yeah.
Like Mima was doing it quite a lot. But then if you watch something like Death Note, Elle bites his thumb quite a bit as well. Is that an actual thing?
That's when you're nervous.
Yeah, but we don't do it in England. We don't sit there biting our thumb
I
like
did.
that. Yeah, but you're Asian.
I thought English people did it as well. I thought everyone when they get nervous, you just like, because I used to chew the edges of here, and it's that thing, so you chew the top of your nail and you go tick. So when it's really frustrated, you'll tap it off. And
Well, maybe, I mean, I don't know anyone who does it. I've only ever seen it really in anime.
Oh.
I think about
I
it.
did it as a kid.
Yeah, I don't think.
I thought you just get worried and it's so I think British people suck their thumbs. As you get older, you bite the end of it off. You just
I chew like the other fingers, but not
No, it's-
specifically the nails.
no, it's the specifically
thumb,
the
sorry.
nails. It's the most satisfying crunch, and also if you do it too far down, it kind of hurts a little bit, and that's when you're really stressed.
Maybe I've just never noticed it in other things. Maybe it's just something I've noticed in anime.
Maybe. That's really weird. That's something I would never think on. I think, because I'd just be like, well, she's clearly worried and very tense because she's biting that one.
Yeah, because now sitting there thinking, like, actually sitting here chewing my thumb, it's like...
But now you're thinking about it, I'm like, I can think of loads of times it's done in anime.
Yeah.
But I just think
Does
it's a normal...
Yeah, sitting here, because, like, I would associate that with chewing your pen or your pencil as nervousness, like, or...
It's nervousness, it's stressed out when you don't like the decision that's going on around you. You've got no control on it. But you can control how hard and how... So when the situation gets to a stress point, that's when and it breaks,
Yeah.
then you'll see a character go, and the nail will break. So they've got to that stress point.
I'm going to have to watch other programmes to see if people bite their nail.
Yeah.
Their thumbnail in particular.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, because it's just... Yeah,
oh my god, there's something to look out for now.
I know, I'm going to totally be like looking out for all the...
No,
because I thought it was very British because of the whole Shakespearean do you bite your thumb thing.
That's an insult.
Yeah, it's not an insult. You do it because of stress, and when the stress level cracks, so does your thumbnail.
Oh,
so
weird.
it's to represent stress.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it, it probably is more common. I just haven't noticed it. It's just in animes that I'm noticing it more.
They might use that thing because it's stress.
We're going to have to watch some other programmes, more American or
see how many people
programmes.
bite their thumbs.
Yeah, that's weird.
How very weird.
What I liked throughout this whole thing was that you felt, as the viewer, how she was feeling in the way that you could not determine what was real and what wasn't.
Yes.
Because you'll be watching and you'll be like, oh my god, she did that. No, she didn't. She just woke up. But now we've gone back to that scene. But it can't be true because now she's there. It's just so jumpy and so, like, mind-boggling that... But I didn't not enjoy it. Double negative.
Yes.
You know, it's... I liked going on that journey of not knowing. I liked going, okay, that person's the murderer. Oh, no, wait, they can't be the murderer because that person did that. They have to be the murderer. However, they could be the murderer. Yeah. And it just kept you on your toes right up until the end.
I remember the first time I watched it going, I just didn't see the twist. But then when you think about it, it was so obviously like Rumi. It had to be because she was the one that had access to all that information, including making sure that guy was always there. And it has the layers of in the drama they're talking about it. And you're like going, well, just because they've explained it in the drama they're filming doesn't mean that that's happening in the real world.
Exactly.
Or is it just me reading that because they're telling me that? And I love it because it doesn't hold your hand. It's one of the few like thrillers, and especially considering what cinema is like now, where they have to have some kind of exposition to explain what the killer's childhood was like and why he grows up to be a killer. Or even with your psychological thrillers, they give you information about why they do that, rather than just going, this is a thing that's happening, try and work it out. Like, there's no hand-holding. You are just as confused as she is. You are just as uncomfortable as she is.
Oh, definitely.
God, and what's worse is, like, the thing is, the non-rape scene is a harsh wash, even though, like, you can say it's acting, they stop, they cut, they show you the cameras, the filming of it.
But even though you know it's acting, you still got that thing in your mind of, wait, has he actually whipped it out and is actually raping her? It's like, it's so much of a mind.
Yeah.
Like,
so, and then you're like, and then she's playing the airhead card, and you think she's getting through this because she's an airhead, and then she's like, no, of course I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But then it's the other person, like, and then it's so Japanese in its things that, like, there's two sides to obviously the Japanese culture. The ones that really like all that kind of nudity and sexual violence and that kind of like the Nikki Tassis studio kind of like porn industry, and it's that then, and then there's the stuff that likes it really, really innocent. And in recent years, idols have gone into TV with a smoother transition than obviously 20 years ago. If you're an actress or you're an idol, the fact that like she went from the pinnacle of the innocent, and especially idols in idol culture, when you become a pop idol, you are not allowed to date. It's in your contract, and you're not allowed to do any of that because you have to be 100% pure, because so much of your male fan base, which is mostly entirely fan base is male, they like to imagine being with you. You make your money out of like kind of selling an imaginary relationship, which is obviously what that dude had with her.
Like with body pillows and all that kind of stuff. Like that stuff sells because they're imagining they're the only person who's with them.
Yes, exactly. Same like the new one with the phone app, and you can now, they've had the first marriage to the phone app, and it's, oh my goodness, it's mental. But this is like, I mean, so yeah, so you sell the illusion that you could possibly be in a relationship with her, and that, you know, you've got that one-on-one, which is why Rumi played Sam, I can never pronounce his name properly, Insane Sam, no, I'm totally cocking it up, but shifty dude.
Yep.
Can sell the shifty dude that the real Mina's out there and only confines in him.
Yeah.
And because the line between fan and idol is very thin and corruptible, but you have to stay in that innocent, pure thing to sell that illusion. By crossing over to an actress, she breaks the illusion, and she crossed over and she did female adult stuff.
That also explains Rumi when she cried
Yeah.
at seeing it, because at first it was like, oh, she's crying because it's an awkward scene, she's seeing her client going through this horrible thing, but no, it's because she has at that point lost her innocence.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't go back now.
No,
That's
you can't.
it.
She
And
could never be an idol again, because she will never be able, because that scene is out there. People, your body has been exposed, and people who live off this self-delusion of these idols will be like, I've seen that body being raped. It's been I don't want that. No one wants that kind of impure tarnish, which obviously they say in this movie many times over.
and also with Rumi saying that she is the real Mima,
Yeah.
that's like her watching herself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing that causes the tears. It's just such a
But the thing is,
F.
and what's brilliant is like the plot of the drama they're filming is the fact that the young girl then breaks because of that scene. But it's that scene that breaks like Rumi, because after that scene is when she starts taking it too far. It's also the filming of that scene that breaks our character. So it's like they wrote, it's a plot within a plot, and then they disjoint it, and then, well, our Amima is mad. She's losing the plot because she can't keep tabs of reality.
Yeah,
And then playing the part of a character that can't keep tabs of reality in a drama about non-reality, in a movie about what happens when you can't keep tabs on reality.
Yeah, and Rumi, when she's telling Nima, don't look at that website,
Yeah.
because otherwise if she does, then she starts delving into it, like, is this really me? And then obviously she gets revealed to be Rumi, but it's, oh god.
And then she
so
starts
good.
she starts thinking that she can't tell tabs, so she thinks that what's happening in the website is real.
Yeah, like when she says, well, I guess I went to Harajuku today.
Yeah,
It's like
and it's like, yeah. And then obviously, like, Rumi uses the same weapon as the killer in the drama show to start taking out all the people she feels are corrupting Mima, and just kind of goes through them. I mean, she started small with going that she didn't like that transition, so obviously sent a letter bomb, and then that scene just broke her, and she. What I love is when the final reveal and they're running down the street, and Mima is still in that mental state, so she's seeing herself as the perfect idol, just kind of floating and just like beautifully just skipping, and then they finally go past that glass bay and you see Rumi really like, holy hell, like just like running and sweating and gasping. Yeah, it's still seeing the floating, lovely, jumping version of Mima that's magical.
That is like the definition of a thriller, the kind of reveal and like, oh, look how lovely. No. Not lovely.
Not lovely.
Evil psycho killer running with
Running.
all their life to kill you.
It's just like
umbrella death. It's like
Oh.
And also what's frightening is there were so many people around and no one was helping.
Yeah.
It's like she's screaming her like the top of her lungs and just no one is helping. It's
a bit of a mean thought, but in Japan they're not a very big. Sometimes they don't like to get involved in things because it means that they get noticed, and that's the thing I always say: the thumb that sticks out, the nail that sticks out must be hammered down. You're a conforming society, and you're all hegemonic, and you all do the same thing for the greater good of Japan. You don't deviate from the plan or try and stand out too much, because then you're an individual, and there's no room for that kind of individualism.
And yet,
in a monogamous hegemonic society.
And yet they have so many outstanding fashions and stuff. And I understand that, like Harajuku, like, enough people do it that you end up part of something. So you're not standing out, you're just part of that community. But if we were to do that here, you stand out so much because it's not the norm here. It's bizarre.
They finally killed the Harajuku because Harajuku isn't Harajuku. It's all done. It's all gone.
Why?
Last time I went to Harajuku, the cosplay Zukas don't do it anymore. All that theatrical dress doesn't happen.
Aww.
It's the moe girls now. Everyone looks like pretty little girls, and all the innocent, cute stuff, and not even the cool Lolita Gothic stuff. It was all gone. My heart broke when I went to Harajuku, which was 2 years ago. And
I'll have to ask my sister. She's going she's going this Christmas, so she's going to Harajuku, so I'm gonna have to ask her.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, some of it is still there in shops and stuff, but basically the crowds got too big for Yoyogin Park of all the cosplayers and stuff, so the police then banned them.
Oh.
And so with nowhere for them to hang out in all their costuming and all their regale, they stopped going to Harajuku. And Harajuku, the actual Harajuku, is a very trendy high end. It's just this wonderful, like, parallel road that's really small that we go to Harajuku and go, you'd miss it if you didn't know you had to turn down and go the other way up a back street. And then that's when all the counterculture was down that road, and everything else is like, you know, Harrods Japan and all that kind of really big swanky glass fronted department stores.
Yeah.
But there was nowhere for them to go, so it all got banned and it all died.
That's sad.
It is very sad. But it's the rise of idol, which is so weird because this film is 20 years ago, and if Satoshi Kon saw what the idol scene has become now, because this is a cautionary tale of be careful in the idol scene. The expectations that are put upon you as an idol star the pressure is insane, and when you can graduate into acting, but you've got to choose your roles because the fan base can make or break you and can get very possessive of you. And obviously now a lot of them transfer into kind of comedy dramas and, like, you know, romance dramas and stuff, but she went straight into a murder detective drama, and I'm like, oh, that's the stuff you hit later if you want to totally transfer into it. And also when you transfer into television, a lot of TV idols never make it to film. You have to start out wanting to be in film because people aren't going to hire idols, because idols are a fallacy. They act this one. They don't have those multi-dimensions. They're only meant to be cute, wonderful, relatable girls that you can potentially romance but not touch.
Well, she kind of did it because, well, from what I saw, she did it to get more lines and stuff, because they said that at first she barely had any lines. And they're like, hey, rape scene. And she's like, yeah, more lines. And it's like,
she was very innocent, and her other agent totally sold her down the wrong path. But it's also a commentary on what the industry is for the male and female point of view. And instead of, like, she wasn't a big enough idol star to sell her appeal in one of the romance dramas. Because they said that there's, like, you know, the Yankees who are they're ruffians, basically, that throwing cans and stuff. It's like, you're a no-name. Chan was still at its earliest stage kind of thing, but she wanted to go into acting because she thought it would... Well, kind of her agent was saying, yeah, you've got talent, go into acting. And she was like, this seems like a nice new dream, yay! And it's like, oh, you naive little soul. But I think she wanted to do something more, but she didn't want to do what she did, and she got lost away. But yeah, so many interesting things. It's just a good thriller that makes you think.
It's a very good thriller. Yes. I enjoyed it.
Yes,
I watched
and
another one.
Very, very brave with some of the stuff it showed us. Like, you've seen anime boobs, but you haven't really seen realistic, like... And the thing is those scandalous kind of magazines, they all exist and stuff, and you can buy the photo books, and then you can buy the adult photo books, and you do it for, like, the male and the female stars as well. But the thing is, once you've crossed over into that thing, and you get that tarnished image, it's very hard to ever go back from that. You've either got to keep on being adult, or you've got to get married very quickly so that you can go, but I'm now a housewife. I did that once, but now I've matured into the ultimate woman in Japan, the housewife. It's just tragic that Satoshi Kon didn't get to make more and more movies, and there isn't more films like this. Like, I haven't seen Black Swan, so I would like to see Black Swan as what it's like to have a psychological breakdown in a performance kind of job and be all like...
As a ballerina.
Yeah. But it's all like psychological thriller and murder, but on the dance stage rather than on the acting stage. But it's such a good film. And beautiful. And shocking that it's 20 years old, and the animation slides and moves and reflective surfaces and oh... You like this film a lot.
You like it.
Yes. You like it a lot.
Well, what should we give it out of 5?
Wow, what should I be our 5? It's a bit of a hard one to be like, a lot of the things are not safe in this.
What is it called? Is it an ice pick that she stabs them with?
It looks like an ice pick, but I think it's an ice pick.
We'll say ice picks.
Yeah.
Okay, out of our ice picks, how
many?
many?
That's one of my favourites of all time. This is going to get me the 5 out of 5, because it does everything right.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. 5 out of 5. That it kept me interested. It kept me watching to find out who was the murderer, because you're like, you kept suspecting someone and then it would change because of a reason. And like I say, you went through the journey with her. I think, yeah you're right. They hit everything right in this one. And the score was good. The animation was good. Everything. Definitely a one to watch. Although, we'll warn now.
All the trigger warnings.
All the trigger warnings, yes. Like, maturity.
We will definitely put that in the title before we go. It's got an 18 rating for a reason.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, when you're older.
When you're older, and it is... Yeah, it does non-realism very realistically, even when you're kind of trying to question if it's really going on.
Exactly.
But it's good. And and the other thing, what do you think her last shot to the camera could have meant?
She said, "I'm real," didn't she?
Yeah, and she looks in the thing and she's like, hee hee. And you're just like... yeah. And I always never know, it's like... Because you're seeing it for a reflection. So you're not actually seeing her go, "I'm real." You're seeing the reflection going, "I'm real." So it leaves you kind of going...
Well, the thing is, I think it is real.
Yeah.
Because when she was having it out with Rumi, when you looked in the mirror, it was what she was really seeing. Yeah. And it was fake.
What was going on the
outside. I think the mirror world is what you're really seeing.
Yes.
So I think her looking in the mirror at the end is her going, "I'm real.
I'm real. I've come away from this." She might not be all there. I don't know.
She might not be. She might not.
But it's interesting that she went through all that, and she's now a successful actress that gets recognised.
Yeah.
But the question could be, is she though? Or is she actually broken and she just believes that she went through all that, so of course she's going to be a successful actress.
Yeah.
But really she could actually be mad. Herself. I'd like to hope that she went through all that and found a strength to continue on and become a proper... I don't want it to be
well-rounded human.
Yes.
She came out the other side and all was well.
All was well. I'd like to.
Let's say it was
that goes. Let's not go with the bleak ending. Let's go with the happy ending.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Yes.
The end.
Yippee.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. This is Lizzie from Let Zoe Spoil You signing off. And if you did like what you heard and want to hear more from me, you can find me as Let Zoe Spoil You on YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr and Twitter.
And if you'd like to know more from Sagira, you can find me on YouTube, Tumblr and Twitter.
But for now, this is a weeaboo saying Johnny
and Newbie saying see ya!